Hello, welcome to this video. What am I gonna say? Okay, I'm gonna be talking about abstract art versus minimalist art. So, first, with abstract art, obviously, it's abstract. Okay. Um, I think when people think about abstract art, they're like, that's creativity, that's creative. But then when it's minimalist art, it's like, oh, it's not that creative because, right, it's more simple or whatever. But I would disagree, and here's why. So, here's the thing with abstract art, you gotta have you gotta have like an idea. You can't just be making abstract art to just like you're not just making abstract art to make abstract art. Like you're not like I'm going to try to make something like no. It has to be about the ideas. It has to be about something that's. It has to be something that's like not forced and like you're trying to convince yourself that oh I'm doing something here, but it's like no, it's like it has to be meaningful. I guess that. So now I'm gonna talk about minimalist art. So minimalist art is creative. Now, minimalist art could be abstract art. This is where it gets complicated. Okay, so basically, minimalist art can just be like more controlled and less chaotic, a more orderly version of abstract art in terms of you can still have a lot of different colors, but it can't be too all over the place and it can't be too disorderly, it can't be too maximalist, it can't stand out too much in terms of trying to get to that. Like it has to be to the point where it's not at like abstract, where abstract is like I think the idea is like it seems like there's more than one thing going on. Now I think you can still do that with minimalist art, but there is like a limit, right? Because with minimalist art it's more like a main focus. If it isn't on one thing, at least those two things, or if it is more than two, it has to be at least feel connected together in that minimalist art. While with abstract art, I think it's more of like a world in itself where there's a lot going on, and sometimes it's hard to connect everything in that whole art together because some things might seem like the complete opposite of each other. So I think I might have explained it well, but that's all I can think of right now talking about abstract art versus minimalist art. I am not trying to be disrespectful to people who make abstract art. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to people who make minimalist art. I'm just here to defend people who make minimalist art. I'm here to defend the minimalism and the artistic integrity, and people who want to make it seem like, oh, minimalist art is lazy, while abstract art, those people aren't lazy. The people who make abstract art, but the people who make minimalist art are lazy. It's like no. I think with minimalist art, depending on what it is, you can put more thinking into it because it can't be abstract art. So it has to be more simplified. Not simplified in a boring way, but more simplified in a conceptual way. In terms of what I'm trying to make is the focus, and make it more minimal, make it more simple instead of making it more complicated, more complex. But take complex ideas, these complex concepts, and try to have it in a more simplified form where it can still be expressed, but not in a confused, chaotic way, but in a more like just the look of it. I think is just you can tell a difference between like a creative minimalist art and creative abstract art, where it's like, okay, these two are very different, but this is basically expressing the same thing as that, but it's doing it in this way that is more clean. Because I don't think abstract art is very clean. Abstract art is more of like the internet. Information, right? It's like, it feels all over the place. And obviously there's different types of abstract art. I'm talking about the more extreme abstract art where it's like, you'll look at it just for like 1 second, you're like, yeah, that's abstract art. Right? Because there is some abstract art where you'll be like, oh, that's nice. Someone's like, that's abstract art. You're like, really? Okay, I guess a little bit. But it's like, but if you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. But that's all I have to say in this video.